Yo, what is up, guys? And hopefully Wild Rift devs as well. And welcome to another Wild Rift video. Today's video is going to be a little different. I'm just quickly going to explain to you what the video is going to have in like a minute. And then I'll just let you guys watch the whole thing. It's basically a podcast type of video with me, eStreamout, and Chief. Chief and eStreamout are both Wild Rift streamers, amazing streamers. I've put links to them in the description as well. And we were just having a discussion together because we feel, although the game is great, although Wild Rift is great, and like I'm loving it, there are some issues that need to be addressed. And this time we want to do it in a podcast type. And we were doing it on a stream of eStreamout, and we were also listening to what the chat had to say. I want to ask you guys as well, any issues that you're having with the game right now, put them in the comments, and give each other likes if you see them. Maybe we forgot some issues. I want to say one more thing, by the way. We were just talking. It was not anything planned. We were just talking, and I rewatched it, and I have said some things that are that doesn't really make any sense, right? Like, not everything that we said makes sense. So you shouldn't have high expectations from the game, because, for example, I was talking about issues that are unfixable, and I was bringing up some solutions that just don't make sense. I'm not gonna cut it out because I want to show the whole thing anyways. But just keep in mind, this is just us discussing the problems as players of the game and as content creators of the game. We want to show it to you guys. Okay, so give the video a like, put down a comment, everything like that to support the video if you want to. Please don't hate on the devs. I made the mistake in my last video, which I apologized for and which I will apologize for again because it was absolutely horrible for me as a content creator of insulting the devs. It was in the video. I just want to take my time to really apologize for that because even though, I might be mad and stuff like that, that's not the way to go. And that's not the way that I want you guys to be, okay? So please don't take any negativity out of this video. Take it as a constructive video. We want the game to improve. The game is great. We're just talking about some issues. Okay, that is it. Nothing else, just that. So enough about this. Enjoy the video.
Welcome everybody. It's really nice to see you all being here. Excited for this, and yeah, thanks to both of you for having the time for this. Actually, yeah, I think we have actually meted up because we all think Wild Rift is in a difficult spot right now. We think there is a lot of things that actually are fixable, but things are not being handled right at this moment. Not by the I think not by the community as well as not by Riot. Like, it's from both sides. So I think we should try to maybe make a step towards them and try to make a change. So yeah, that's what we're actually meeting up. Yeah, and anybody of you wants to say something as well?
I mean, yeah, I have a lot to say personally. We're gonna go through this.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, for sure.
I have a lot to share, and personal experience and stuff that I've done and how I see it. I'm pretty sure Chief and Streamout have a lot to say there, so it's gonna be very interesting. And we're gonna be interacting with the chat too. I thought, if they have some stuff to say, we're gonna be reacting to it, and yeah,
definitely.
going.
And maybe make polls if we have some ideas what the chat, what the community does actually think about it.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think for me personally, the most important topic right now is matchmaking. I don't know how you see it. I think matchmaking at this moment is it's the hotspot. Yeah. So I would actually like to talk about matchmaking in the beginning.
Okay, you're gonna start, Chief, or me?
I can go for it. Yeah, I mean, sure. Matchmaking is a really big point. I think we all agree on if matchmaking would be as how the community really wants it to be, that people of the same skill level really meet each other, then Wild Rift at its point right now would not be this bad. Kind of like people wouldn't flame that hard on the game and go that hard onto most of the devs. The comments would be way easier to read, I guess. And I think we totally agree as well that it's probably hard to balance it. But there's so many ideas by the community that how it could actually work that, I don't know, we're kind of feeling like the devs don't really listen. That was also a topic before, and it still continues a little bit.
Okay, so matchmaking, they're still testing out a lot. Obviously, they even said it, like, yeah, we're testing this and that, see how this goes and how that goes. But like, personally, I really think like they need to do better. They need to do better on the matchmaking. Like, come on, the way that it's right now, it's not horrible, but it's like, if you look at it objectively, right? 2 challenger players with 3 emerald players. I mean, it doesn't always happen, but is this something that should ever happen? Or a lobby where you get like, you know, you're a diamond lobby, you get a random gold player who just completely ruins the game, makes people toxic because they're gonna trash talk the gold player. The gold player is gonna be like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Just the game experience gets ruined.
Definitely.
Same goes for, you know, the quality of the games is just lower. Like currently I am Grandmaster and, you know, the quality is pretty good, but sometimes I just get into these games where I'm like, what's happening? You know, why am I against the first time Platinum 4 Irelia? Like, why does that happen? I don't really understand why that is even a thing in the game right now. So sure, they're testing out stuff, but it's horrible. It's horrible.
I have a question. Like I know Chief is playing SoloQ only, I think, or mostly.
Mostly, yeah. Yeah.
And what about you, Health?
I play solo, duo, and very occasionally trio, but mostly solo and duo queue.
So what's your opinion on the difference? I can't say my opinion on the DuoQ because I don't play it. So I would like to ask you, because you play both of it. What is the I've actually played a few games, I did, but what is your opinion? You played more of it. So what's the difference between solo and duo for you?
Okay, so my personal experience, duo queue feels much better than solo queue. Like duo queue, you're gonna be up against a duo queue, trio queue up against a trio queue, which is an amazing system. Because if we look at another game, Vainglory, back in the days, like you could be a 5-man queue could be against a full solo queue squad.
Yeah.
I really like this part about Wild Rift, right? Like where if you're duo, you get against the duo. It feels fair, especially if you play with a good duo queue. You know, you're gonna have a good game. But solo queue is a different story to me. Like as I said, suddenly you're gonna get the platinum trio queue, and then the enemy has the Smurf platinum trio queue, and
Or
the
even
game
the
is
Grandmaster
horrible.
trio queue.
Exactly,
Yeah.
or the grand.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and
I don't
the
like
problem.
that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like if one team has 2 challenges as a duo and the other one has 2 diamonds, like
Yeah.
there is no way they can actually
Yeah.
win. To be personally, I have played a few duo queue games. I think my duo queue win rate is really high, whereas my solo queue win rate is a bit above 50%, which is
Yeah.
insane. There's an insane difference because like solo queue players, they seem to actually just fill spots where it's needed. Like one team gets a duo queue, whatever it is, they get a few emerald players, and then you as a solo queue player, you're the one that's gonna fill something. And to be honest, that feels really bad. And sometimes it's a good thing. It's a coin flip. One time it's a good thing. Then you're on a team like with, let's say, 2 emeralds, 2 diamonds, and you're Grandmaster. And you play against 5 diamonds. Of course it's easy to carry. Dude, if I jungle, it's easy to smurf on them.
Exactly.
But on the other side, sometimes I play. Yesterday I played, and we've played a team where the enemy team was actually, everybody of them was Challenger or Grandmaster at its highest. And I was the only one that was Challenger on my team at its highest, one Grandmaster, and the rest was Diamond and Emerald on its highest, which is insane. Like there is no possible way to win this. So I don't know. I personally think I understand it's complicated. I really understand it's complicated because it's not hard. It's not easy to balance everything with the player base that Wild Rift has at this moment. I don't know. I thought like, what could Riot actually, I mean, they are trying things out. What could they try out to get it better? And me personally, to be honest, I would like to try out a solo queue only mode, for example. Like for a decent deal.
I have 2 more things to say about matchmaking. First of all, it's the issue of 5-man queue, you know?
Definitely.
It's like
That's
like
the whole...
there is really one thing that it does, which is inflating challenger LP, right? Like I'm currently Grandmaster, I got +12, -18. Like I personally don't care, but I can see how incredibly stupid and frustrating it can be to have to grind to 600 or 700 LP as a solo duo trio queue player with +12, 11, or 10 and -20. It's not fair. Meanwhile, there's people playing 5-man queue as a challenger, and I'm not saying, you know, that they're doing a bad thing. It's a thing in the game. They're just playing. They play 5-man queue as a challenger team, and half of the games they're going to be up against a diamond team because that's what happens. That's literally what happens. They play 5-man queue challenger. Sure, half of the games they'll be against another 5-man queue challenger. Sure, but the other half is diamond games. They're going to be against a full squad of diamonds for some reason, and they'll get free LP. Why are they able to get the same LP as solo, duo, and trio queue players? It really doesn't make sense.
No, really
And then I have one more point to make, which is, in my opinion, the LP system. If you're like Diamond and you have +10, -50, understand the game.
Wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. You have
You're
bad
rushing a
contact.
little bit.
Just wait a minute. Wait a second until your internet is stable again. I'm gonna tell you. 1 second.
Uh,
Okay, try to talk.
my bad.
No, your
Hello?
internet is kind of unstable. 1 second. Let's wait a second.
1 second.
I don't know, guys. Internet problems. Yeah, absolutely. I think 5Q is a completely different problem, which is the only way they can take care of it is to remove it right now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not removing it.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
more of like even making different leaderboards for it, in my opinion.
You don't have the
And,
player base for it, I guess. Let's
that's
Hells-
probably a
let's-
problem. Yeah.
Let's finish this
Yeah.
talk first.
Yeah, I had one more thing to say about the LP system. I'm not quite sure how much you heard. I'll just say it again. I really think the current LP system of, for example, if you're Diamond 4, Diamond 3, and you get +10, -15, then like you play the game and you're like, what the hell am I even doing? I'm winning 60% of my games and it doesn't matter. And then the game, it keeps you in these emerald lobbies. And even as a, like, let's say you're a challenger player, even if you play in emerald lobbies, how much are you really going to win? 80%, 75%? Even if you win like 70% with +10, -15, you're not going to get out of the rank.
No,
and it feels to me like, sure, behind the scenes, it might be good. But if you just look at it as like the average player, it feels completely unfair. It feels completely stupid to be stuck in a rank with +10, -15, and not really being able to prove yourself. Like, sure, the really good players are going to get out of it, and you can get out of it. But it just feels super frustrating, to me at least. And I feel like players might think that as well. You have these very, very bad games, and it just feels like a hole that you're dug into and you cannot get out of it.
Definitely. Absolutely true. I can't agree more. It really is.
I just think like for example, like the badge they brought into the game, that actually looks like something good at the start. It just evolved to something really like memeable, where you just have badge players that actually should be meant to play above their rank. But I don't understand how this actually could be a thing, because you get legit negative win rate players. Emerald 4 Hardstock never peaked over Emerald 1 in the past 3 seasons, and you get those players. You look at the history. It's all losses. It's 8 losses in a row, lose streak. How do they play above their rank? That's the question to me.
No, I mean,
I
obviously,
just can't understand it.
To be honest, obviously the mark for the smurfing badge, I think they just give it everyone that's playing with higher people. There is no system.
Exactly.
It's
there is no system.
All 2 elos below. Yeah.
It's just everyone to make the people calm. Like, that's what they tell us. Like, I don't want to talk right too bad. Like, to be honest, we gotta say they made an awesome game. They made a game really, I think, which is uncomparable to the other games, and which we really have to appreciate. And yeah, I don't want to talk all bad. So they do awesome things. They do great events. They do a lot of good stuff in there. But matchmaking and like LP games, they really have to keep working on. Like, they maybe should really start to listen to the community a little more. So yeah, Chief, you want to say something about 5Q?
Yeah, like definitely. I played a little bit of 5Q at the start of the season, also with House, like a few games, right? I mean, kind of our experience was we played like 5 games against Diamonds and like 1 game against a really good team, and it was really coin flip. And right now I'm playing SoloQ a lot, but I feel like maybe they did revert to matchmaking again, but all the people that are able to find 5Q games as easy as it is right now, they are not going for SoloQ anymore. So you don't meet them anymore. So the game is kind of forced to give you lower elo mates, unless they want to give you or put you on a 20-minute queue or something.
This is the important talk. Yes, they disappear from the game. It's like a separate queue indeed.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure. I mean, it's fine. So you don't get a match with a 5Q as a solo player, right?
But, of course.
Yeah, that is even possible is kind of sad, and it really takes away the level of game for solo queue players. Yeah.
No, to be honest, like, it's separate. Like, some people saying something about a separate queue. I don't think it's an opportunity right now, because we don't have the player base. I would not think that a lot of people would use it, but if they actually use it, we still have, like, in high elo, we will still have the problem of solo queue players not having people in their rank, finding people to play with. So if there is like 1,000 people above master and 900 of them is actually playing 5Qs, how do you want to play with the other 100 people? Like, everyone's getting matched with emeralds and diamonds.
I have something to say, because I've actually been in talks with the guy that does matchmaking in Wild Rift, And I brought up this issue as well, right? The 5-man queue issue. And the answer that I got is that they acknowledge the issue. They see that it's an issue. And I was talking about potential solutions. And he said that they were potentially looking at massively reducing the LP gains. For example, like a challenger 5-man queue, if they win, they would get like 6 LP. And if they lose like 24 LP. That's what he was talking about.
Okay.
And I think that would work. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
that would still have the issue of it being a separate queue, but at least it's not abusable anymore. You cannot abuse it if you get 6 LP and minus 24. You're not gonna have people at like 1800 LP, right? Like, what the hell? You're not gonna have that anymore.
Definitely.
That way, sure, 5-man queue, you know, it's fine. People are not gonna abuse it. People can play it because why the hell not? But it's not abusable. You get plus 5 or 6 LP and then you lose 24, which may sound bad. But as a challenger 5-man queue, you're winning like 70, 80% of your games, right? You're still going to be getting elo. So that's a thing that he had been talking about. So they are thinking about it, but when are they going to implement it? That's the question.
Well, at this point, it's just, it should be scaling also in solo queue. Like if you match with a full emerald queue and you carry the full emerald queue against a duo queue grandmaster, for example, in my opinion, you should be having more LP gains through that. Like you should be gaining more LP than you lose or would lose out of that queue, because otherwise you would get punished basically for being a good player in a higher rank, but being forced to play with such players against a better duo queue, right? Because you can't. What I noticed is when I'm solo queue, that happens a lot. That there's a duo queue, and for example, support and jungle or so, and the support is moving for his jungle, right? And my support is just chilling on dual lane and just doing his stuff, right? It's just a classic. And at this point, it's just the difference of the duo queue, but you can't really do much. You have to give up so much in the game that it's just completely lost by default. And I think that really has to be worked around. Maybe only doing solo queue only lobbies. I don't know, at that certain elo. Yeah, it's just a really bad state for solo queue players, in my opinion.
You know what I don't like about Riot, what they do with matchmaking, like they're trying out stuff, which is fine. But usually if you try out stuff, you don't try out everything at the same time. Like they have solo queue, duo queue, trio queue, 5 queue. Why don't you try with like start with the foundation of solo queue, and then if it works fine, you got it fine for solo queue, you will add duo queue, okay? And then if you balance it well, you can try to add the trio queue. 5 queue, let's leave it out. I don't think it's ever gonna work. I mean, there's a reason it's not working like on League of Legends as well. But if we start from a foundation with solo queue only, from I don't know, even I would say from Diamond Plus, to be honest. I would really say from Diamond Plus. They could start working on this foundation and get a really good matchmaking, which I think is not as hard, not even close to as hard to achieve like it is right now. It's my
So I wanna add to the part where I was talking about the LP gains, them being really bad. Again, I'm gonna bring back my old game as an example, Vainglory, which I feel like did much better in this way. The way that Vainglory was doing this is they literally showed your MMR on the screen. They just showed your MMR, so you could see exactly how much you're gaining and how much you're losing MMR. So that would like kind of motivate you. And the way that it worked is if you're against a high elo match, you get a lot of LP. If you're against a low elo match, like if you're higher than the enemy, you get less. That's the same way that it's working in Wild Rift, but in Wild Rift it's behind the scenes, and you're gonna see minus 15 and plus 10. So like there is no reassurance. There is no reassurance in the game.
So also,
like,
if I have good queues with full Grandmaster, that happens sometimes. With like only one Diamond member, I have the same LP gains. Like it doesn't really change too much unless it's like permanent, I would say.
Yeah, but like you won't see that you did really good. You got a huge bump in the LP gains up until, or sorry, huge bump in your MMR up until like 10 games later. It's just, you don't feel it. You don't get motivated after you win a really good game, or you just don't know what's happening. You're just constantly trying to win. You're stuck at like a 55-60% win rate, plus 10, minus 15. You don't see what's happening to your MMR behind the screen. You're just playing for nothing, basically. That's what it could feel like as a player.
It really does feel monotone and not really motivating to see like you're losing more LP always, and suddenly like you're from a minus 17. I don't know, you're even losing games. You're on a lose streak, 5-game lose streak, and suddenly you lose minus 18. Like for what reason? I just won a game. I get plus 12 instead of plus 13. Suddenly, like why?
Yeah.
Yes, you know, I've seen a message. I've seen him from who was it? I don't remember the name. What's his name? I can't share the message. I got it here. 1 second. I'm gonna share it in the chat. I don't know his name. It's one of these guys that are working on it or like representing it. He said that your MMR is based on, it is calculated every time again, based on, I've got it from Simu, he sent it to me. It is, you will be compared, your win rate will be compared with everybody else. And as a solo queue player, that means your win rate is also, just your Menke, thank you. Your win rate is also gonna be compared with 5Q players. So how in the world can a solo queue player, let's say he has 60% win rate, which is good, but his MMR is still gonna fall because there are so many 5Qs having 70, 80% of a win rate.
But it's not true. It's not true. I've asked this to the MMR guy as well. He said your win rate doesn't matter at all. It just matters against who you win and who you're playing with. Like if you're consistently winning against enemies with higher MMR than you, that's when your MMR is gonna bump up. If you're losing against enemies with like much lower MMR than you, lower skilled enemies than you, that's how you lose. For example, I had a 67% win rate at the beginning of this season. Okay, I'm just taking myself as an example. I had +10, -15 in diamond. That should already be an example of that win rate doesn't matter at all. And I asked another thing to the MMR guy, which was, how about if you get SVP, right? Like if you're playing so well and your Emerald teammates are just too bad, like you would kind of expect some sort of a compensation for this punishing system, for this super punishing system. But he said he didn't answer that question, unfortunately. The only thing that he said was, I think all I can say there for now is that we did an update to MMR that resulted in it being a lot more accurate at predicting who will win each match. Basically, no information. So unfortunately, he didn't answer that question. But yeah,
that's just addressing another point we can probably talk about later.
Yeah.
There's no official statements. It's just always you have to communicate with single devs, and
exactly.
You always have to find the dev that's actually going for this topic, etc. I don't know. That really, it feels like Riot is not really or Wild Rift is not really communicating with the community over like one channel. For example, in my opinion, there should be like the main channel where they only post skins, updates, whatever. But there should also be a Wild Rift support channel, a global one, where all the devs have access to, and the devs are posting their stuff on this channel, and people can just comment under it, and then they have a team that's actually reading all the comments and collecting those really good ones, constructive ones, and maybe forwarding them to the devs so they can work on those topics. Just so we only have to follow like one account and not like 20, in my opinion.
Exactly.
But that's something we have later, I guess.
We're still definitely, that's definitely a good idea. Yeah, but for now, I don't know. Like, what do you guys think would actually be the solution to this?
So like we have already kind of mentioned it, like what I was thinking, like solo queue only mode, like at a certain time, daytime, like other games also have it. I found that was a really, really nice solution. A lot of people said they might not be able to play at that point, but probably that's those people that are Emerald or Diamond anyway, and won't be even able to access this mode, are just hobby players, This mode is like really only for Master Plus, in my opinion, or maybe a Diamond 1, it depends, where you qualify for it, and then you play at your point level, I think. So you collect points, but only only in that point range of like a plus minus 100 points, for example, those people get matched. So you have really fast queue times because everyone is kind of queuing in those 3 hours of the day, basically starting at whatever, at 7 p.m. or so. So really have a short time window of everyone queuing, everyone's coming online. You will have a high peak at players at that time, in my opinion, as well on the third server. But you will have a really active community and people that play solo queue. And also in this mode, there shouldn't be mentioned any names, in my opinion. That would take away like a lot of toxicity, and we come to that as well, probably.
Yeah.
So it's like one thing we thought about, or like doing solo queue only from Master Plus. That's the basic solution, I think, right?
Guys, I need 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'll be back. Sorry.
So they changed the matchmaking in a way that I don't like with the Smurf badges and being matched with platinum and stuff like that. But the reason that you match with these low elo ranks is because the way he said that it works is they take like a medium rank, or I don't know what the word for it is. Basically, if you're diamond, they might take emerald as the rank. and then they'll take players from under Emerald and above Emerald. So you're gonna have, you're gonna have that massive change of ranks. So you're gonna have Diamond players with Platinum. But in my opinion, that would probably be even worse in low elo. Yeah, I'm talking about the way that the matchmaking works now, which I don't like, which is that they take like one rank. For example, if you're Diamond, they take Emerald, and then they take Diamond players, Emerald players, and Platinum players in the game. If you look at even lower rank, Bronze, you can, like, imagine Gold players being with first-time Wild Rift Bronze players.
And the sad thing is, it happens.
Probably be even worse. Yeah, and that's, in my opinion, even worse than Platinum players in Diamond games.
Yeah,
like, and it happens.
Yeah, it is like weird. It's both.
It's the same. It's both bad. Yeah,
but I don't say.
I don't like this system. I don't like this system. Again, I'm gonna take my old game because I really think the matchmaking was in that point a little better. You would never match with a player that's so much lower ranked than you. It's just, it's not fair. It's not a fun match. It's just, they're not going to be able to do anything. In my opinion, that really needs to be fixed. They need to bring back like maybe little longer queue times, just a little longer, and not make it that much of a difference, because now, you can match against a wide range of players. Queue times are fast. They should probably tune that back or change that. And the LP gains, they need to change that. They need to have some reassurance in the game, in my opinion, that, hey, you're doing good, keep winning, or your MMRs is coming up, blah, 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 so the people at least know what's happening behind the scenes with their MMR. I think those two things are the most important. And then, of course, the 5-man queue, but we talked about that already.
Yeah, it's definitely a good point. Like, really, especially, so a ranked gap restriction, which like, you can't go into the same match with someone that's like 3 elos should never, 3 divisions should never be the case. Like, even to, let's say Diamond was, actually Diamond was, Platinum can't happen as well. Diamond and Emeralds. And to be honest, I remember season 1, we didn't have this problem. I don't know where out of nowhere these problems came up from.
Because they tried to work around those accounts that were, like stuck in the MMR, high MMR. They couldn't queue again. I don't know, there was some problem about that, and I think a short or a soft reset of the MMR of those accounts wouldn't have solved the problem, because they would be stuck again, and they would have always had to soft reset the MMR.
I don't really get why that is a problem, though.
I don't really get what you're saying. I don't really get it.
I know for a lot of people it just worked, right? For me, I never had any problems with queue times.
No, it was
like
Stuart got a 10th win streak or so, or I don't know, 19th win streak, and suddenly he had like his account was stuck forever. Like I just.
But why does that happen? I don't get it. Why doesn't he skip ranks? Because his MMR is supposedly way too high. Why doesn't he skip ranks? It's just, to me, it seems like a no-brainer, but it definitely isn't, because otherwise they would have done it already. But why doesn't he skip ranks? How is an account stuck? How can an account not find a match? I don't understand.
Well, yeah, but what I definitely think is like the matchmaking will have to be attractive to join, and also to be to watch, because like those channels like YouTube, mostly like actually streamers are your ambassadors for your brand, basically, and they show the community what's going on right now in the game. If your streamers break away, you don't have any content creators anywhere playing the game, you won't have any social interaction with the game outside of those maybe little death diaries or whatever Wild Rift is posting. So you really have to make rank attractive to the streamers as well, and to people that watch it. Because right now, for me, in my opinion, it's really unattractive to watch just Emerald lobbies. Though I'm Grandmaster, I can write into my title, I'm Challenger, Grandmaster, whatever, But at the end, I will still be matched with Plats or Emeralds at some point, and this just doesn't make sense to me. To watch it then, and it really has to change. Otherwise,
I have a question. I have a question again. So for you two, especially on SoloQ, how often did you experience lobbies with high elo players? With high elo, I mean, if you're Grandmaster, you go with Master, Grandmaster, Challengers. Like, how often have you experienced it?
For me, like, I think like half of my games, I'm currently Grandmaster, and like half of the games, maybe a little more, actually, I gotta be fair, like at least Diamond games, but then the other half is gonna be Emerald games. I do want to add to Chief's point, however, because I think that's a really important point that he made about games not being attractive. I'm having that issue right now as well. Like, I want to play a champion, and then I either stomp the game or I get stomped, and then only like a minor percentage of the game is a good quality game that I would want viewers to watch. Now, I cannot imagine for streamers how annoying this would be. Like, I'm a YouTuber, I just record, I lay on the couch, I say whatever, this game is trash, no one's gonna watch it. But for a streamer, you guys constantly have to go through those games, and then only a few times you're gonna get the good games. But I also want to talk about the super high rank streamers, because you have these challenger streamers that are at like thousands of or 1,000 LP. They cannot even find a match. While of course they're really good, they're much better than anyone else. But why are they not
can
being
find a
matched
match
with
in
the
5Q.
grandmasters? They can find a match in 5Q, but their MMR is so high that they're just not gonna find a match in Duo and DuoQ. They are, but it's gonna take them like 20 minutes, which also makes the stream bad. Like the other day, I've seen multiple streamers just waiting queue for like 30 minutes. What is that? Like, why are they waiting for 30 minutes while there is multiple Grandmaster players queuing? Why? Because their MMR is so incredibly high due to these 5-man queue wins.
I think it's also about the roles they're queuing in, because if you would queue jungle or support, I think you wouldn't wait that long. But if you queue mid or ADC, it definitely is something else on that part. But if you go duo queue, you already have a really lower queue time, I think, as a dual lane, as from what I've seen. I don't know, but I think, like, coming back to that, like, for example, the SoloQ mode, like 3 hours opening at the evening or something, it would really make it attractive to content creators to just stream this, or like, I don't know, stream a warm-up, 2 hours, something, stream some PvP with the community, whatever. But like, then these 3 hours are try hard, and you stream those, and like, viewers will really enjoy to see people tryharding. We had that in Arena of Valors as well at the end. I streamed that for quite a while, and people really enjoyed those little small hours where you came on and just tryharded, Where everyone was trying, no toxicity, everyone was trying his best, like no trolls actually.
I want to say something real quick though. If anyone in the Twitch chat has anything to say, any comment or any question, I think you guys agree that they can just send it in the chat.
Definitely.
And if we find them interesting, we can pick them up and talk about them as well, right? Because maybe we're forgetting something. So yeah, if you have anything to say, just send it in the chat.
Yeah, Simio says SoloQ mode in the evening is cringe for the most of the players that can't play the
AFK.
Yeah, it's true. Like,
there it is.
Like, definitely, like, if some people don't have time to play that, of course. But I don't think they should make only evening. If they want to make a special queue, they should make it like 3 times a day for 1.5 hours, for example, or like 2 times a day for 2 hours. Not just one time, not just evening, not just in the morning. I mean, there's different time zones, so there should not be just one time.
I like the idea of that, but then you have to look at the people that have to work. And I'm, like, the majority of the player base might then not play anymore at other times and just play at those times.
Yeah,
and
that's the problem.
Yeah,
true. That's also true.
I mean, if you take those stats where you have the most active players at like the 3 elos that can join the mode, Master Plus, for example, you can definitely take a average of that and decide which time window you would get, like 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. I think that is pretty nice for. I mean, you also have to see time difference of Turkish people, Russian people, etc. For them, it would be midnight. That would be pretty bad. But like, I think in most of you, those people that really take the game serious and would try hard, and are not like just hobby players, they would be available at this time.
The idea is good, but I also think it is kind of lame for those, just in case there are, even if it's just 5% of the people, which I'm sure it is more. Let's say it's 10%, whatever. It's lame for those to not being equally like treated as the others.
But now I see Simju's comment again. But to be honest, I think the casual base of the players should not be above master. I think the casual player base is meant to be like Platz, Emerald, something like that around.
The average one.
That's what usually people are reaching as well, pretty fast. But they don't really reach higher. Other like playing like 10 hours a day and improving really hard, So I think those modes really would benefit the game, in my opinion, because it's not the casual player base it targets, but it targets like the more competitive player base. But it's also good. So at these 3 hours, maybe the more casual player base has like a ranked experience where without all those tryharders smurfing in their queues, like. Because they're forced in those queues.
Yeah,
I don't even think it's good that if you have like a duo queue grandmaster in the enemy queue and you play against them, get hard stomped, and you don't really learn anything, right?
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely. I mean, you can learn something maybe one time, and then you gotta like try to learn out of it. And but if you play it often, like you just get stomped.
How about Toxicity and AFK?
To be honest, I don't experience much AFKs right now. Since 5Q is there, I think the win traders are using 5Qs for win trading. I don't experience AFKing so much. Like rarely right now. Last season have been way more. Toxicity has a huge problem, which really has to be taken care of. Because yeah, it is also like putting way too much negativity into the game.
How do they take care of toxicity though? Because obviously there's quite a lot of toxicity in Wild Rift
Like
right
how many useful things could you type into the chat? To be honest, I don't see a lot of things. There's just some things you could do, and then like you
maybe
just,
they should maybe they should bring in like a karma system, right? Like if you have a certain like,
yeah,
I don't know if that's what they call it, but yeah, if you're like, you know, super good in the chat, super good in game. I'm not saying that I am, by the way, but if you're like super good in the game, you know, as in you're nice to people, you don't insult anyone, then you're gonna be allowed to chat in the all chat. And then if you're, you know, a little lower, you're
good
gonna be
idea.
allowed to chat with your team. If you're under a certain threshold, no, you cannot chat anymore. Instead of chat bans, they just do it like this. If someone downvotes you, you know, it's gonna
It's
downvote
good.
the karma, right?
Actually, a really good idea. To be honest, it is a
That's
really
how
good
it
idea.
was in Arena Valor, actually. Credibility system, credibility point system. Yeah, kind of. At the end, it was like you had 100 points max, and if you went under 90 points, you couldn't even join ranks anymore. You had to play like PvP games.
Exactly that, yeah.
And till you had 90 points again, and you had a max of 6 points per day. I think you could rank up again. So if you trolled like twice or really fed and got detected by the match by the game, then you dropped to like 82 or so, and you couldn't grind up to 90 points again, so you couldn't play ranked again for the next 24 hours, basically.
But if a system like this gets implemented, they also need to have a system to find people that are trolling with the downvotes. Like, let's say someone downvotes someone just because I don't like him, right? And there's probably going to be ways to detect that as well. Like if only one person downvotes someone and no one else does, and if that person does it multiple times.
No, it was
so,
mostly
you know, you're
through.
gonna,
It was mostly through the report system, not through downvoting, whatever. Like downvoting is a little too negative anyway to bring it into the game. There's a reason why there's only a thumbs up in the game, right? Or honor
in Vainglory we had it like a downvote and an upvote. I remember didn't really do anything, but
yeah,
it existed. Yeah, well,
yeah, I don't know,
you,
but it was mostly about the report system there in AoE.
Yeah, I mean the idea is really good. Yeah, this I really like it. I think the other idea would be like, which I thought, which someone in the chat just typed as well, predefined messages, which are
predefined messages.
Like what kind of message you might need in game. Swap lane, swap this, like these kind of stuff, and then you just disable the chat. Yeah. That's the other one. I think your idea, like the one you guys just said, is better if it's really implementable for them. It really is. But if it's, I don't know, if they can't really get it to a good system, the other one would be the one with the predefined messages, which is also a good idea to get rid of toxicity.
Well, I don't think they should remove chat, to be honest. It's a really good thing to be in the game. Like, it adds more good than bad. So.
But like, what can you say? What is like? What do you usually say? What is good? Like, what kind of messages could you imagine to type there?
Like me personally, because I'm a YouTuber, you know.
Yeah.
But for no, I want to talk about the average player, right? You know, just you're having fun. You tell someone, "Yo, good job, thank you for the gank," or "Let's go for dragon." But I get that with these
when does that happen?
No, like
I mean, I rarely get any compliments in the game. Might always be. I suck hard, but sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, my god. All right.
Yeah. It's always dog jungler didn't take dragon. I get it, but
yeah.
No, but there could be like good stuff as well, like good job. These kind of things can be in there. Like, why not? That's a good thing. Like,
or thank you. In Vainglory we had thank you.
Yeah, I think they have it. Do they not have some predefined thing? But they usually don't get into the chat. They got in the top or so. Like, let's. I mean,
there's like those short commands you can use. Basically, that is no one using.
Yeah, but guys, we can talk about this all day, but they shouldn't remove chat, right? Like we all know that would kind of ruin the game experience. It's so much fun to have a chat.
In my opinion, they can leave in party chat, but they should remove at least the complete global chat, like the 10-person chat, in my opinion. that only your own team chat has to be monetized, whatever, searched by the system, for toxicity. Yeah, I mean, that would make it a little bit easier to detect like toxic behavior. If someone is, I don't know, like feeding and then also writing in chat, it's easier to detect than writing on all chat, etc. Also, I see a lot of people just standing still in my games and writing, dying for it. That happens a lot, and that would take this away.
Bro, but I don't know. Like, I don't often see people being like typing in all chat, anyways. Like, mostly the teammates get flamed. Like, who's flaming the opposite side?
No, they're not flaming the opposite side. They're writing in all chat in hope that the opposite side would support reporting them. There's like the first message or standard message is always report Yasuo times 9 or something. For example, that's a classic one. And then it starts, like the bullshit starts, where the Yasuo is also writing something. Then everyone is just cursing each other, which shouldn't be the thing, but it's happening in all chat. And it also affects, for example, if I have all chat on, it also affects my mood in some way, even if I don't have anything to do with it. But I see toxicity in game and read it, and I don't know, for some reason I kind of feel not attacked, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel good to be in a toxic lobby. I just want to have my fun playing. If my mates are bad, it is what it is, But you have those games, but just don't be toxic in chat.
Actually, I think a big problem is also like which had started to talk about in the before already, which is transparency. That Riot does not really like they don't let the community be a part of what's going on, and I think that's a huge problem. Like, they should really start to go a step towards the community as well, and try to make them part of it. Like what they are doing, how they are doing it, so the communities actually understand them. Also, like, I don't know, for me personally, if sometimes Riot doesn't make a patch, it's not a problem. Like, if they just tell us, hey, we just have tough times right now, we can't make a patch this time, we're gonna do it on the next week, that's not a problem. But if you bring out a patch which is like there is nothing in it, or almost nothing, that's really not the nice way of doing it.
Yeah, and not being transparent about stuff in the game. Like, there is one account to follow to get news about the events. There's another one to follow to get general news about the game. Another one to get news about matchmaking. And another one, blah, 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 blah. Like, why do we have to follow 20 million accounts on Twitter to just get the basic news that we all want about the game? As I think Chief mentioned it, why is there no, or you mentioned it, why is there no one account on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, with all these news things, right? Wild Rift news, official Wild Rift news, official Wild Rift updates, something like that.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure
I'm totally fine with all those devs. They're doing a really good job, there's no doubt about that. Of course. They're sharing their thoughts about the game. They really care about the game, what we also have the discussion about. We know that, we acknowledge that as well. We don't blame the devs for posting their own thoughts on the game and what they are allowed to post about like future steps or whatever. But I really want to have those little posts that are really important to the game channeled into one channel, so you can also share it on your Discord. You can share it as content creator. You don't have to search up on 20 different channels, scroll your timeline the whole day, till some of the devs actually post something. And that's basically why this has, in my opinion, has to be made at some point. Also, Twitter is not like the discoverable platform for like the average player. Like, you really notice there's like more the pro scene or like content creators on it, some casual players, of course, but like the content creators at the end bringing those infos towards the community. You, for example, with video, or we on our stream or on our Discord, whatever it is. And this has to be encouraged, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Definitely.
I don't know how like the idea is of like if they would really be transparent. I don't know. I think not just me, I think you guys as well. I would personally really be willing to help them if they need something, for like without wanting something for it, obviously. If they would like come towards us and say, okay, we want to improve these kind of things, do you have any ideas? I mean, we see way more reactions of like what they see on Twitter is only shitstorm. They don't see good comments about how to get things better. But we're actually talking to the community and actually getting productive ideas of like how things could get better. And I don't say they have to use our ideas, but they could listen to it. They could come to us and ask us, hey, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about those balance changes? What do you guys think about that? Like, maybe take a second opinion.
I mean, so far what I've noticed, for example, the matchmaking guy, Joshua, being really visible, like clear with all the plans, etc., for the future, what they are doing currently, but mostly to like bigger influencers in DMs, and they share it. And I don't know, like in my opinion, he would have to post it himself to not give the influencers. I mean, sure, the influencer can share it, but I think it's wrong giving like one influencer the chance to give a certain info, to be like a monopoly on it. And I have those infos, I have those contacts, and they get all the likes for it, etc. You know, and it's not like I'm just crying for it or whatever. It's just what I noticed, that bigger influencers get those contacts by Riot devs, and smaller streamers or etc. are kind of left alone, and their opinion doesn't really count, in my opinion, so far.
Yeah, first of all, that's true. Like, I don't really understand why they don't share these things. I even told him, like, why don't you write a page? Like, very often they write a page with
blog,
updates,
example,
and they share. Yeah, the dev blog. Why don't they do it for the matchmaking? I told them, why don't you write one for the matchmaking?
Weekly dev blog about matchmaking. I don't know, something like that.
And like, I want to add to the content creator thing too. I feel like Riot is not doing enough with content creators. And again, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it from what I'm seeing. We have so many Twitch streamers, you know, we have YouTubers, we have everything, but why are they not really doing anything with that? You know, you have the program, the content creator program, which I think lacks a lot. Like, it doesn't really do much. Why don't they have some events for content creators? Like, even if they do like just some fun tournaments, you know, some fun ARAMs with all the Twitch streamers, or why don't they just promote Twitch streamers by retweeting a stream? Like, let's say, oh, he's tweeting out that he's streaming. Why don't they retweet it? Or someone makes a good video. Why don't they post it? Why don't they even put it in the game, like a tab in the game to promote these content creators? Because I really feel like the game is big, but the content creators are not big. And especially Twitch, there is so much potential, because watching Wildrift on Twitch is so fun. But I'm like, there's always going to be people that don't know about it. They don't know. Like, sure, everyone has YouTube, but not everyone has Twitch. Why don't they do something? Why don't they give a name to these people, so these people can also, you know, gain more viewership in the game? And why don't they have a better content creator program? The game has been out for in beta for a year, 1.5 years. Yeah. Why don't they have a proper content creator program with some fun stuff? You know, I don't really understand that as well.
Definitely. Leroy says, by the way, hey Leroy, nice to see you as well. They can make a closed group of influencers and streamers to actually play the game. So we can share our opinion freely and not bash them on social media. 100% true.
That's exactly kind of what Supercell has with Clash all the games. You know, like they have their streamers or YouTubers, influencers that are coming together. They have those dev accounts where they can pre-test whatever like is coming for the next updates. Can record videos preemptively with new champions, cards, whatever it is.
That would be good. Yeah,
this would be great.
Yeah,
but
really.
I think in China there's like a PvE server coming out currently, or is released, where like a few influencers already have access. I think shows or something, or Yikes maybe have access. From what I've seen, I don't know, not 100% confirmed, but a lot of things getting leaked preemptively, which I really think is bad for some influencers that really. Just stay to the rules, you know, that Riot makes, and
everyone is going to leak is going to happen anyways. It's going to happen anyways.
I also think they will like people.
But then just give a PvE where it's just fair for everyone.
Yeah, true. Maybe just release them whenever they are releasable. Just give it to everyone and say, okay, you can release them now.
And why don't they do like dev streams on Twitch? Because you know, to put an audience on Twitch, why don't they do an own stream, like, you know, where they give updates, they answer questions from the chat, just a live stream? Why don't they do it like every 2 weeks or whatever? Just, you know, I don't know who does this, but for example, Ban goes online, you know, the big guy on Twitter for Wildrift, he starts to answer some questions, right? Why doesn't he just go live like us right now, and you know, like this, and then chat asks questions? They pick out questions and answer them. Answer whatever they want to answer, of course. First of all, it's going to answer people's questions. Secondly, it's going to get people on Twitch, and it's just going to be super good for the game. I don't quite
why doesn't he
understand
go
why they
live
don't do it.
with... you don't really have to take like questions out of your chat. You can just go live with 2 big influencers, for example, or take streamers in, get constructive critics, and have a discussion with them maybe about the game.
No, but really,
public,
Exactly.
not
should-
in DMs. And I don't know, we can totally understand if you can't leak anything about the game. That's sure. About the future plans, he's definitely limited on what he can say. That's 100% sure. It's normal in the game industry, but just like those public discussions really are missing in Wild Rift. That's what you want to say.
I can understand why it's not all like they can't do everything in all public. But the thing that Leroy said with the closed group is actually a thing which has to be done, to be honest. Like, at least, like, you don't have to say everything to everybody, but at least take a closed group of people that can represent the community, and not where it's exactly not about negativity and flaming them, where it's about productivity and getting the things better, which would be really improving a lot of, like, actually all problems they have right now.
I think the message from Simio is interesting. You're asking for stuff they don't even have on PC League. Let's see if they put it in. Also, if they promote your content in game, you have to sign tons of stuff for legal stuff. If you do bad stuff on stream, etc., they will get into bad light for it. For example, if you do a joke that is not politically correct.
That's true.
So that's an interesting one.
That is true, but also it's possible on other games like Clash Royale or Clash of Clans.
Yeah.
They have
I've seen
in-game
it
tabs
before,
for
yeah.
at least esports. They support official like season end streams, etc. I'm just taking Big Spin now as an example. They support his season end streams. They're posting it because he's like contracted by an org. But Clash Royale also supports organizations to sign content creators, etc., or get into big tourneys. And that's what I'm seeing in NA, like bigger orgs stepping in. But in AU, there's so far nothing, I would say, which is pretty sad. But sure, it's only first year. We have the time. Sure, the game's developing, and I don't know, maybe in future. But yeah, I'm also with Simter there. Totally agree on that. But maybe over time you see like which content creators are eligible for that.
Like, I also totally agree with what Simon said, but the only thing I don't agree with is the one like comparing it with League of Legends PC. I think we should not be comparing, even if it's the same company. We should not be.
They don't even want to compare the game to League of Legends PC. Actually, they want to be in own games. So why don't you do your own stuff? You know.
But also, I think I don't know. I was not always playing League of Legends, but I have to say League of Legends in terms of matchmaking, everything did better. Like when I used to play it, than Wild Rift did right now. So. They did in everything actually a lot better, but I think they also had more budget for it. They had the opportunity to it. I'm pretty sure, I really know, like the people working for Wild Rift are hardworking. They are hardworking, but they don't have the opportunity for everything.
Yeah, and like the budget preview of 2022, for example. Like, that was really... I don't know, they could have just posted it like a dev diary or something.
Which one?
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, like the 2022 preview, it was like together with League PC. Like League got 40 minutes or so, and Wild Rift just 10, and there was all basically only those things we already got leaked previously in it. So I don't know, it was pretty frustrating for a lot of people in the community, and also just I don't know, it just fired up a lot of more toxicity in streams. Definitely. I saw that, and yeah, definitely. I don't know, there was not really a post besides Dragons on Twitter that he prepares for shitstorm, etc. That really acknowledges that they didn't really have the budget or
when we were talking about the dev
permission
diary,
to put more things into it.
I really want to know your opinion about the patch. Like, what do you think? I mean, obviously it's not good, but like
most recent one.
Yeah, the patch 3.0. Like, what do you think about it?
3.0?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think they screwed up one thing massively, which is the number. Why did they put 3.0 on this patch? This was obviously just a small patch. You know, this is just, Dragos even said it, like it's just a January patch where they do small patches, but it's patch 3.0, the big new number, right? Like every single game that does these new numbers is when there's a new patch. Apparently they do it for seasonal things or yearly things, like next year they're going to do 4.0. That's not a good idea. Community is not gonna see it like that. They're gonna see 3.0, and there's only a Riven buff, more health regen. If they're gonna be like, what the hell? Where are the maps? Where are the changes? Where's everything? Right? So that's a big screw up from them.
Yeah, and on top of that, the balance changes were, I mean, they were good, but also kind of questionable. Like, why is there, for example, no Jayce balancing when like all the pro players would tell you that Jayce is completely broken, and there's all those pro tournaments coming up, those qualifiers are coming up before the next balance patch. Like, you really like you have to listen to the community at that point, like which champions really have to be nerfed. Maybe, I don't know, like if there were teams, pro teams, you could just ask those teams, make a survey or whatever, you know, what champs they really think have to be balanced at some point. And I don't know, but there are no pro orgas at this point, and that's also like, I don't know, something that would come with it, in my opinion.
What Simi says is interesting. He says there was a dev talk about Jayce. It's because he is now unbalanced in low elo, and nerfing him would make him unplayable there. I think Riot really has to understand that some champions that are like, I mean, like Jayce is not even, I wouldn't even considering him as a hard champ, but let's say they have problems with it. Some people are like champs are gonna stay low win rate on low elo, like Lee Sin, for example, like Riven, for example.
Same was on Shyvana.
So like they have to ignore some champs on low elo, like they ignore some champs on high elo. They could not make Teemo broken for high elo because he was broken on high elo.
So dumb.
Like it's not working. They really have to differentiate a little. There are high elo and low elo champs which have to be separated, to be honest.
The Jayce needs to get nerfed. Like that's one of those examples in it that's just completely broken in pro play. He's always gonna be banned, and it just doesn't make sense that they wouldn't nerf him. It's so obvious as well. Like, why doesn't he get balanced, right? Doesn't really make sense.
I don't know. Jayce is not really the only one. I think like nerfing Kale early game, for example, like the previous patch of the 3.0 one, really was not like what the community really wanted. Like they wanted the late game to be nerfed, not the early game. Now it's just harder to scale there, but it's still a menace in late game. Like for everyone that plays against her, like it's really hard to win if she gets level 15 with 3 items. You can't really stand any chance against her.
You know, actually gotta say something good also before we do too many bad things right now. I really gotta say, besides the 2 last patches, the balance changes actually have been decent.
I mean, sure.
They have been really decent. So I really gotta say that I'm really happy with their job. Like there was a really good balanced like champion balances, which I'm really happy of. There have been few champs that are arguable still about, but like overall it was top. Like I could not complain. I don't know what happened in these 2 last patches. I guess they also said it's like they had like vacation on Christmas and New Year. I think so. I think they didn't have a lot of people working.
I have something to complain though, because generally the way that it works with balancing champions like this is obviously the devs cannot see everything. All they have is numbers. They see like between bronze and gold elo, Lee Sin has a 48% win rate, and then between gold and diamond he has a 50 win rate, and then in high elo 52. How are we gonna balance it? You know, and if they see, like as you guys said, hey, Teemo has a huge win rate and low elo, let's just nerf him giga hard. It just destroys him in high elo. Why don't it really feels like that sometimes the people that are balancing these champions don't play the champions. I know it sounds weird to say, but sometimes they make these changes. Like for example, that early game nerf that Chief talked about with Kill, that was actually a patch before, I believe. No one wanted Kill to get nerfed early game, right? Everyone was like, nerf her in the late game, which she did in the last patch. But why would they nerf her in the early game? To me, it seems like they just see that 53% win rate, and they're like, okay, we just need to slap a nerf on her. Whatever, we're just gonna nerf this in the early game. Sure, that'll fix that 1% win rate. To me, it really feels that that's the way that they're doing it, instead of actually looking at what's good about a champion. Like they're just nerfing something. You know, they have. If a champion is a little too good, we'll nerf the HP region. If it's medium too good, we'll nerf some damage. If it's way too good, we'll take away the scaling. You know, that's what it feels like to me. I don't really like that personally. I just feel like it has.
It is true what you say. It is true, but we gotta say, I'm pretty sure they don't have enough people there working to do it more detailed than what they do right now. They can't go more into it than all these win rates. I'm pretty sure they're on a budget, and they just have to use it the way they can. But that's again where the content creators and like pro players maybe get in game for the closed group where we could actually help them on those things. So yeah, and like basically the win rate and lose rate is a good thing to look at. Basically, yeah, of course they should look at a few more things, but I think we could help them with this. Like, I mean, we actually, all of us, we would not play the game if we wouldn't love it. And I'm willing. I'm pretty sure you two are like willing to help them with whenever they need something.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, we play it every day. Like we put all our patience in it as well, but passion as well. Mostly. I mean, Hells, for example, makes this his job right now currently. So he really relies on that game to be good at some point. And I mean, definitely there is some pressure on making the game better, or becoming better, or staying good. But yeah, I mean, as we said, balance patches were really good. Some questionable things. I just think that there has to be worked around the balance patches a little bit with like pro players' opinions, not only like stats they have from low elo or high elo. I think there's a lot of things going into pro play as well. For example, Varus, just everyone knows Varus is completely busted for the last, I don't know, 6 months or so, or even more. And they don't really balance him or can balance him. But a lot of pro players just always say or give solutions for it, maybe even. So I don't know. On that side, I think they should listen to it. You're muted, Hells. If you
trying to talk.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree. Is there anything we haven't touched on? Maybe some stuff that the chat wants us to talk about?
Actually, Simius sent me something, and also Leroy said something. Let's first do Leroy's one because Simius is a little longer. It's really hard to get Wild Rift out to the public. Riot just doesn't incentivize enough to help people kickstart their content streaming career, and this in turn deters away people from making this game as their main game. Those who consistently stream are only few of us, definitely. But I don't know. As I said, you know, we gotta like try to see into Riot as well. I really think so. And if it's not like what I think, it's sad. But I think they don't have unlimited budget. They actually have pretty low budget and have to achieve high profits for this game. I really think so. And they are actually hardworking to get it done. And I don't think they have the option right now to, which is sad, to help the content creators and everyone else with a Kickstarter.
But they should.
They should.
Like,
yeah,
why don't they?
They should. But they, you know, if they should, they need a person that is in charge of this. They have to get a new person for this. They can't just say, "Hey, Draglitz, you're gonna help the content creators." That's not like how
and
it
they
works.
also have to be 100% sure, like Simon said, that the content creator is really
exactly
the person they want to kickstart.
How many content creators are actually like persons they would do? I don't know, to be honest.
I don't think anyone, to be honest. We all have bad things.
Yeah, I mean, we're all like kind of flaming the game
normal.
sometimes. But
to be honest, bad thing, I don't think we should keep that as a problem. Being sometimes bad, being sometimes toxic is normal. You gotta also be honest. And I don't think anyone can be honest without any time of flaming. Like, it's not possible with the current state of Wild Rift. But yeah, Simius one, he actually sent me a... They made a statement about patch 3.0. I gotta translate it while I'm reading, so it will take a little longer. They didn't say anything about matchmaking. They said our feeling. I don't know. I didn't listen to them. I just say what I'm reading right now. They like what the devs said is our feeling about the champions being too strong or too weak is wrong. Their data doesn't lie. Like, what they have as data is what is right. Bringing new runes is too complicated to implement right now. Yeah, which I can totally understand. This one I can read priorities somewhere else. This one I totally stand behind. There is too many problems to be focusing on new runes or items right now. Jayce, Zed, and Lee Sin have high win rates on high elo. No, have decent win rates on high elo. But in low elo, they are just not good. And there we get again about the differentiating about low elo champs and high elo champs. You can't like make a high complicated champ and expect a decent win rate on low elo. Like this guy doesn't understand him. He's just auto casting all his abilities.
But then it's just not a champ this person should play, like in my opinion.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Also, talking about that, like new champions that come into the game, I see the problem there that people are actually instantly able to play those champions in ranks. I don't know how you see it, but I think there should be a cap of PvP games before, like 5 PvP games. Like you have it in AoV as well. So people have to play those games to get a certain mastery or mastery points. And with those mastery points, they're eligible to join ranked with those champions.
I mean, it's. I don't know if I would like this idea.
Sense.
I also don't like this idea. Just let them play it. If you personally are a person that doesn't want him in your game, you could just ban him.
Yeah.
Like exactly. it's just making things more complicated.
Then toxicity is encouraged again.
Why?
This guy will probably just troll then.
No,
I mean, experienced that a lot of times.
You just insta-ban him. If he trolls, it's okay. No, to be honest, if someone bans a new champ and someone doesn't understand it, it's not right, like actually. Like it's understandable.
But there is also an advantage to it. Like if you can play the champion immediately, enemies are not going to know how to play against it. Like Kill, for example, you could totally abuse her in the first few days. And if you put a cap on that, now imagine someone is saving up for the champion, and then one day after the champion comes out, he can get it. But then he has to play a few more matches on PvP, and then the next day comes, and then everyone knows the champion already, and it's not as fun anymore. Why would you do that? I don't really like that idea.
It doesn't have to be fun. It has to be more competitive, in my opinion. That makes it more fun.
I mean, yeah, it's more fun if you can just play a new champion immediately in ranked. I mean, how am I supposed to make a video then?
Well, let me 1 second finish what Simio said. So about like this thing is arguable about letting them play or not. It's actually arguable, but I think we have 5 bans each team, and that's why even if balance patches sometimes are not like 100% decent, it's okay. Like these champs, we got 10 bans in total. Like everyone has, like each team has 5. Let's say 5. Like these champs could be banned, but yeah, they should actually nerf Jayce for sure. Like this champ is out of, I don't know. Yeah. Never mind. Let's finish what Simir said. Jhin and Teemo actually are good in the game. Jin's strongest phase is the mid game, not the late game, and Teemo is constantly solid. In the next patch 3.1, there is more balance changes coming. To be honest, like I don't know about this message from them, about this statement. As I said, the one with the runes, I totally understand them. About the balance changes, they are arguable. I'm sure later on they will still ban these champions, but like still taking help from the community, from the content creators would be a good idea for them. Like really accepting the opinion of them. Like right now it seems like they think, okay, you guys are wrong. This is not the right way to think. Like they should try to see it from our perspective as well as we are trying to see it from their perspective.
And just have a PBE with the content creators.
Definitely.
They can give their feedback. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's a must.
Yeah, and
like if they have a change for a champion, then okay, guys, is this good or does it make him too good? And then they're gonna say, okay, this is a bit too much. Don't do it like this, and it's not gonna be as broken.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah,
definitely. Yeah, and the last thing about more balance changes are coming patch 3.1. I mean, okay, they have to now after this shitstorm. Like, they don't have no choice. No, but like for real, what I personally think about this patch, I mean, yeah, it is a disappointment. I understand why it's not big. I understand they didn't have people had vacation over Christmas, over everything. But again, there comes transparency. There comes again like going a step towards the community. If they would have came 1 month ago, before Christmas, they knew people are gonna have vacation. They come to us and say, hey guys, we're not gonna have our patch on in the beginning of the year. We're gonna make it 1 month later, or we're gonna give you something huge. And then but then you gotta like put it on the table. Like you can't then put a patch like this out again. This would be way better, you know. Like trying to be friends, like with the community, more like 2 separated groups.
Definitely, yeah. They shouldn't just think logically. They should also think emotionally, if that makes sense. Like, what is the community gonna say, right? Are they gonna like it or not? Because to me, you know, as you say, it really feels like they're just following a procedure right now. You know, doing what they have to do. They don't really care what people say. They're just bringing out what they have to do, and that's it. They don't really. It doesn't really seem like they put too much attention to what is the community actually gonna like. Because they talk about guild versus guild, blah blah blah. I'm pretty sure the majority doesn't really care too much about that. It's just it really feels like they're just doing a procedure within the company, and that's it. They're putting that on social media. They're bringing that out in the game, and to me, it feels a little boring. To me,
Yeah. I mean, really good point there. Encouraging the community to step in and maybe feel a little bit more included into the game or into the development of the game. Is, for example, like how we saw it on the 2022 preview for League PC, actually, the part. The community was able to, if I remember that correctly, vote which champ should be reworked this year from last year.
Yes,
and I know it's a long process, like to get those things all rolling. It's like 8 months to bring or merge a champ over, etc. But maybe it would be an idea to give the community a poll which champ they want next. Maybe in like next or last quarter of this year, or for next year maybe, or which skins, reworks, whatever. Items, I don't know, like give the community something to vote for, and the community can decide what the game is going for in the near future.
I think
don't
that's
know,
a
maybe
great
map
idea.
changes as well. Do you want a bigger map? Do you want to have a smaller map? Do you want to have like this jungle path, something like this? I mean, there's a lot of things you can think about. It's just like brainstorming right now, but yeah. Just include the community, in my opinion.
I think that's a good idea. For if they want a skin to come out, they say like, hey guys, do you want this skin first or this, and then people can vote. And then, for example, the Jhin skin will come first, and then half a year later the other ones. I think that's a really good idea, something like that. And then you have me as a main Jhin that wants the Jhin skin out. I'm gonna hype it on my socials. Then you have you that's a main Evelyn, and you're gonna hype the Evelyn skin. Then you're gonna have all these fun little things with the communities. Everyone is like, no, we don't want the Jhin skin, we want this. That's indeed what you said. That's gonna bring up the hype. That's gonna make the community happy. It might sound like something silly, voting on which skin to come out, but I'm 100% sure that the community would love it. And I'm 100% sure that
it's like this mystery event we have right now, where the community is all like trying to solve like which champion is behind that,
But I don't like it. But I don't like it. This one.
But the community interacts a little bit and feels a little bit included. Like they have to guess that, the casual player base probably is always like going for it, not the pro player base. They probably don't like this type of event, but where they can't grind anything. But I think the casual community really feels included about that.
To be honest, it's something different, and it's being something different is why I like it. The event itself, I don't care about events. Like, I don't know, like events is, I think, for the casual players, like they really like them, and they do great work on events. They got so many events, which is awesome. So yeah, me personally, I don't care about events, so that's another story. Yeah.
Okay.
There's another thing, another little thing, which is actually the gifting restrictions.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Gifting restrictions, which I totally understand. Like the argument they gave, I totally understand it. By the way, like they had like what is it called again? I don't have the word. Like they have been like scammed probably.
Purchase.
Yeah, probably like scamming stuff, credit card faking. I don't know. I understand it. They tried to find a solution for that to keep it out. It's fine, totally. But there has to be a program for people that give away skins, like us, to give it away to people.
No, but what about, so I don't, this feels like the lazy way out, okay? To me, personally, right? I don't know how it works on the dev side of things, but you only have a few of these accounts that are doing this fraudulent stuff. Again, I don't know how much. Why don't they ban the buyers? Because if they constantly ban the buyers, like imagine your entire account gets banned.
No.
No.
But the problem is, let's say, okay, I'm the guy that's actually, let's call it credit card fake. I don't know what they use. Let's see, I use credit card faking. Okay, I buy a lot of things on my level 1 account, which I just created, and I just give it a lot of it I give to me, but a lot of it I also give to you guys, like random guys. So if they ban everyone, like random people will be banned as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I understand what they do, but yeah,
it's rough, man.
Maybe putting the content creator accounts beside having a partner program which is completely else, giving us a partner account which actually has all skins anyways, and where we could actually give people things from.
Or you make a content creator program like League PC, where content creators are able to give away new skins coming to the game. Like
Awesome.
you can decide for one skin. Like there's a Bloodmoon series coming up for 3 different skins. I don't know, Jhin, Ken, whatever. And then one content creator can decide to go for Jhin and give away 6 skins for that. And they will give these skins from Riot side, and not we have to do it. So you boost the content creators' socials at some point, but also encourage people to join the game. And I don't know, that would probably solve some of those problems as well.
Definitely, dude.
Definitely,
imagine they bring out Jhin skin, giving Hells 10 gift cards to give away. I swear to God,
or wild pass. It doesn't have to be a skin.
So
it can also be a wild pass, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like, dude, it would be awesome, to be honest. Like, having these things would actually really be nice. Yeah, that was the other thing. So, anything else we actually had to talk about? Is there anything the chat actually would like to talk about? Someone just said, what do you mean with skill matchmaking? And we talked about matchmaking.
Yeah, you can
scroll
back into the stream.
Yeah, you can watch the VOD, like, definitely. I'm about taking out, like on PC Leech. Okay, I'm messing up the stream, I saw, but look, and that's what I mean. Like, I'm talking about taking it out completely, like they have it on PC. Like, there is a reason they have it on PC to make it SoloQ only.
Do you have SoloQ only on PC, really?
On Master Plus.
Yeah, from Master Plus, yeah.
So you cannot play. You just can't play.
You can flex queue or SoloQ only.
Because this make it really competitive.
Oh yeah, and then in flex queue it's duo, trio, and 5-man queue.
I mean, there is a reason they did it on PC. There is a reason. Flex queue you can. I mean, until Master you can also play duo queue and trio queue.
Yeah, of course, but there it doesn't really matter. It's
there it doesn't really matter. But in the high elo, like you will get rid of boosted people. You will get rid of. To be honest, you will get rid of a lot of win traders, because people, if 5Q would not exist, they actually use it with trio Q to 100% get into the opponent, to the enemy's team. So I trio Q with 2 friends of mine, and let's say you do the trio Q with another friend, and I lose on purpose with my friends, because that's how it works. Because we're getting into the enemy, we can't get into the same team anymore.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So that's the thought about it. So. Okay, now I could actually, I hope, make a poll. I can't make it. Never mind, guys. Just type in 1 into the chat. It's not working right now because I'm sharing Google Meet. I can't do it anymore. Guys, do a 1 for SoloQ only from, I don't know, what would you say, Diamond 2 Plus, or do a 2 if you say no.
I'm gonna join too. Damn, it seems like people seem to think it would be a good idea.
I mean, to be honest,
if it works.
To be honest, it's about Diamond 2 Plus. I don't know why Spoon is typing 2 when she's not there. It doesn't affect you, Spoon.
That's actually mean. Spoon in our heart is challenger, but it's bad.
Poll is up. Someone did a poll. Thank you. I didn't even know that the mods can actually
we have mods. Yeah.
No, I didn't know they can do it. Actually, I thought I have to give.
Yeah, they
someone...
can. Yeah.
Oh wait.
Yeah, but now imagine you can't play duo queue in the normal ranked, and flex queue is probably going to be scuffed in Wild Rift. Like, imagine a flex queue in Wild Rift.
No,
who the hell is going to play flex queue?
The problem with flex queue is I still think we don't have the player base. Then we're gonna end up with that's not an option actually. Can we make the poll without the flex queue?
But like I personally would really not want no duo queue. I have a lot of fun in duo queue personally. Like personally, duo queue I have a lot of fun.
You know who wants to not have only solo queue? ADC and support players, because they have to share lane.
To be honest, but you gotta think, like, if it's solo queue only, higher elo supporters should be better actually than they are right now, because you're not gonna get an Emerald support. You're not gonna get that's the idea behind it. But anyways, I think duo queue is the one which is still arguable. Everything above trio queue is actually shit, I'd say.
All right. I think we've talked about.
Paul is going for a long time. All right. I think
is there anything else to talk about? Like esports, I think we can't really talk too much about because it's just gonna
I think we can do that in a future topic or podcast or whatever. But
in the future, but not now.
I mean, for now, we can just maybe cut it a little bit on like
Yes.
what you think is coming this year, or like what do you think about their plans, or the WEC tournament, for example, for like the European part of it? Do you think it's like well organized so far, or like do you think they will maybe support it a lot in game, etc.? Like what do
Personally,
they
I
have to do to
think
make it more public?
Personally, I think pro players are not getting, as much as they should get. Like the prize pools are just not very high, and there's no major orcs in the game. To me, I really think it's hard to be a pro player in this game because you're just not getting paid too much unless you're the very best, right? I feel like they really need to up their game with that. Maybe increase their budget with that. At least give the pro players a chance to make it a career, right? To play Wild Rift as a pro. I didn't really look into the prize pools of this year's tourneys, but I think it should be
For
pretty
EU,
good.
it's 300k, but it divides under MENA. I mean, the CIS, MENA, like Turkish or Arabian, and
Yeah,
then
that's not.
Europe again. I don't know if the prize pool is shared like equally again, like Origin series where they adapted it later on. But I know from the feedback that actually the spots are shared equally on those regions, which I can't understand at all. Yeah. But that might be adapted. The feedback is already given, so I don't know. Maybe they're here.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
they should have definitely changed that. Like, no offense, but obviously the European scene is way more active than the other. What is it? The Turkish scenes and the other scenes that are here in Europe. So
I
they
mean
should get
Turkish.
more
Okay,
prize,
they have
right?
a lot of teams, but like Russian scene, I don't think
And Russian,
there's a
yeah.
lot of
See,
teams. Like maybe 12 or so I know from. So yeah, I don't
like
know.
they need to up the price pool. They need to up something to make it a little more attractive for the pro players to play. Because I just feel like it's not getting enough. Like from the money that they made, they had like so much revenue. Why are they not putting a little more in the esports scene? I mean, of course, they understand that it's not as important because if you look at Vainglory, they pumped money in it and they wasted all of their money. But there is like an in between because I feel like Riot is really not putting enough into Wild Rift prize pools. Like you have these teams that are winning monthly tournaments. They're getting like $5,000 prize pool. Like what? The best team in European Wild Rift is getting $5,000 shared within them. I think that's a bit ridiculous. Ridiculous, personally.
But that's again one of these things. Like we don't know. Like it's again like a lot of things we sometimes they really don't have the money. Like that we don't know. Like I'm pretty sure there is someone like every single company is looking for profit. There is not a single company that isn't. So they are sitting there and of course they are trying to make profit, which I can understand because without profit it doesn't matter how good the game is, it's not gonna survive anyways. And I don't think they have the opportunities right now for it. But they are actually trying to make esports, which is really huge. And I think if Wild Rift does become bigger, the prize pools are. I mean, the game is still in beta. We can't forget this. If
Yeah, but I don't really like
I mean,
that.
1 year beta, it kind of gives flashback to PUBG, honestly.
Bro, the game came out. The game had new champions. Like, come on, screw this beta
I know
stuff.
what you
I don't
mean.
believe
I
in.
know what you mean. But like, still, like I'm trying at this point. Sometimes trying to understand them and understand maybe they can't just do bigger prize pools. Maybe that's the problem. Because as I said,
Yeah,
I still think with the work they show off, they are on a budget working. Like they don't have like unlimited how's it called? Like unlimited workers and things to take. They have the workers they have and they gotta make the best out of it. And that's what I think most of them are trying to. So I'm really thankful for that still. Yeah, I wanted to like read one thing from the chat still, which Leroy said. Can I ask how can we as content creators reach out to the devs, do something or contribute about the current situations? I mean, that's what we are trying to do right now. There is not an option to do. There's not a button to press. We're just gonna try to go a step towards to them and hope them to come a step towards back to us, And
Honestly, I can't even like see that Leroy doesn't have any contacts to devs. Like he's with the biggest streamer for the whole year now. So how does this guy not have contact to devs?
Yeah,
that
like
makes zero
the
sense
problem
to me.
is the devs doesn't seem to be using Twitch. Like either you're big on Twitter, and I think if you're big on Twitter, you have decent contact to them. Or you're small on Twitter and they don't even know you exist. That's the case for me, I guess. And
Leroy not existing, unlucky.
Like that's really what I think sometimes. That's really what I don't know. Like, is he following you? Other devs following you on Twitter? If they don't, I think they don't really have you on their display.
I think there were like a lot of devs, or like that one dev. How was he called at the start of the game? Something with J or so.
GCM, something like that.
JC or whatever. Yeah, JCM. Yeah, yeah, exactly. He's also sometimes in Stewart's chat still, but he's not on Wild Rift anymore. So devs are changing, sure. But I think those devs, or he actually followed a lot of smaller creators as well on Twitch. But since him, no one really does, or anyone pops
They
up
should.
any
They
chats
really
anymore.
should.
Yeah,
They really should. Like, I don't get why they don't. Like, it's just a small thing to do, you know, just join these streamers, talk with them, ask some questions, interact. Just, it's a small thing to do. Why don't they do it? Like, why I mean, I get why they wouldn't do it, because it's not their job. Why would they waste their time, right? But why isn't it part of their job? Like, maybe tell them half an hour per week or an hour per week. Just, you know, just go say hello to some streamers. Like, I think it would be worth. Again, it
Definitely.
sounds stupid, but I really think it would be worth. Like, if
Definitely.
you're a streamer and this big dev comes to your stream and he starts asking you questions, starts to interact with
But
you, that's amazing. You know, that's amazing. It feels
Amazing.
amazing, and it's really good.
definitely amazing for us. But I gotta say one thing, dude. It doesn't matter on which chat, which is big, like on Twitch. Doesn't matter, Leroy, Chief, my stream, whatever. If a dev comes into the stream, okay, after this patch
Yeah.
or whatever, dude, the chat is gonna stomp him. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter
that's
how.
actually true. Yeah.
Doesn't matter, and of course he doesn't like to come back. Like I understand like what he doesn't, dude. It's like he has it on Twitter already. They're gonna stomp him in a live chat, and yeah, that's like hard to say. Of course, it would be really awesome to get them. I'm still for the transparency thing, and having a closed group with content creators is an amazing idea. Dude, I would take my time weekly to sit there without getting money, without getting anything, like to try to get the game better and talk to them. I would take my time.
I mean, we have great people in the community, as we see with our mod Niels, for example, that is writing like a whole 6-page PDF of things he thinks he can like make Wild Rift better with, or like even he addresses the problems, but also gives solutions for it. And like those people we need to step up and really give the constructive feedbacks. And,
Definitely.
yeah.
I mean,
We have to give them the voice, you know, for it. That's kind of what I think we have to do as content creators at that point.
And I think it's a little dumb because, like, you know, if a lot of the smaller content creators, they very often make amazing points, but no one really cares. But then there is one video on YouTube with like 50 or 100K views, and then suddenly they're all like, "Yo, guys, we're hearing you," blah blah blah. Like, it's so dumb, as you guys are saying. You know, there's these super passionate people that are giving these amazing points, but they don't care because, yeah, it's just who cares? The public is not going to see it. Who cares? They should have some sort of a place for people to drop these kinds of suggestions. my opinion,
definitely.
instead of just reacting to some firestorm that's coming up to them, because they're always going to be chased down by those firestorms.
True.
That's true, but it's hard to handle. That's the thing. You can just ignore those people. And I've seen a discussion about that where who was it? The event dev, Juno, was actually saying that she, I don't know, not gets depressive by watching all those comments, but like she doesn't really want to see all those comments, or like under every tweet she does, there's comments about other things, other devs that she doesn't have any permission for. They don't do good on their work, maybe, or I don't know, get criticized for it, but it's all under under her tweet because she's more public than them. And this also, like a normal Wild Rift news channel, would take away this pressure from those certain devs, in my opinion, as well, which would be good for their mental health. They're not outstanding, so they can also join certain streams, in my opinion.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, obviously the community shouldn't talk like that. Obviously, it's really bad for them.
But you always have those people
you always have those people, exactly. You know, I'm not saying it's correct. I'm not saying the fault lies within the devs. I'm just saying you kind of have to be able to deal with it as a dev. Even though, again, you shouldn't have to deal with it because it's stupid human behavior from the community. I've done it too myself. You know, I'm not making myself a saint here. I've trash talked the devs as well. But the devs should be able to deal with it, in my opinion.
Definitely.
They just need to take the Hell's mental coaching. They will be immortal against that.
Yeah,
okay, do we want to like to sum up what we said? So we I don't know. So all in all, I think the most important thing, as I said, is transparency and the communication to the community. Either about a server
Yeah.
with content creators in a closed group, not in public. Doesn't work in public. I don't think it is. Yeah, matchmaking right now, 5Q has to be gone. I mean, you said you talked to a dev. He knows the problem. I still don't know why they didn't fix it in the patch, because I don't know
Yeah, me
by the
too.
way, why they didn't hot fix it. If
I
you
think
see,
maybe they're scared or fear to screw up again.
yeah, they will.
massively.
Of course they will screw up. You know why? I'm gonna tell you. Like, if they change it now, all these high elo players, they have an MMR. They can't find matches. Okay.
Yeah,
And
they will not be able to
all-
find matches.
To
Exactly.
be honest, what they need is a hard reset of ranking actually right now. They gotta reset the ranking if they want to get this season still balanced without 5Q.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if
exactly.
they're willing to. To be honest, I would like it if they do it. Also,
They
one
will probably
thing.
just sit it out till next season.
Also, one thing we I don't know. Like, we talked about it shortly was the LP gains. Yeah, they have to fix it as well. People can't get SoloQ out of diamond. I mean, I got out of this. Someone that belongs higher, really higher. Okay, I can't get out of this. But no, honestly, it's for someone that belongs into master, for example, he is not getting out of diamond. I can put my hand into fire. He's never ever gonna. It's not
Never,
possible.
never.
Not even diamond 2. So yeah, this has to be fixed definitely. And I really think like hard reset. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna do it, maybe not. But 5Q has to be gone.
Hard reset and maybe knowing what's happening behind the scenes to your MMR instead of just stuff like that.
Like making, as you said, dev diary about the whole matchmaking. How does it work? And again, I'm willing to sit with you guys for days. If you listen to this, I'm willing to sit for days and work on it. No joke. And if you like, I swear to God, I do even have qualifications on paper to work there. Like, if they want to see, if they say you're not qualified, I swear to God, I have qualified things on paper to show them.
Yeah, we got a new Wildrift dev sitting next to us, right?
Hey, no joke.
But yeah. All right.
Hey, thank you guys. Really, thanks for that. I hope someone does see it. Like, some of the devs does also look. I'm pretty sure they will look into it. Actually, I'm pretty sure they will take a look into
We
it.
can't do more than hoping, I guess. Yeah.
No, but it's also good to talk, to the community.
Yeah.
If they look, they look. If they don't look, they don't look. That's what it is.
At least we tried. At least we tried.
We brought out some good points today, and I would definitely be open to do this more often. To see how the game is going. And I want to thank you guys very much.
Hey, I want to thank you guys very much. Thank you. Really appreciate it. It was lovely, bro. It was actually the first time to have you on my channel, which was lovely.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna hopefully have a lot of things in future.
I've been on your channel quite a lot. Might be a little new to you, but I know you already.
And no, I know, but I mean like as a face on the screen for the.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, we can do it more often, of course.
Yeah, like whenever. Also, like, if you, I don't know, if you ever want to make a video or whatever, if you need something, I'm always there, bro. So
Yeah, if this doesn't get a reaction, we could go that way, right? We can just make a video, because that will probably get a reaction. Not the reaction we want, probably, but...
Is Wild Rift dying too? Part 2.
I mean, I don't regret that video.
No, really not. No, it catched
like
attention. Like, that's what it did.
That it did what it had to do, man. But okay, we'll talk more about other stuff next time.
I guess a big shout out goes out to everyone as well that gave us constructive critics, didn't flame, and topics we could talk about and address, etc. Sure, we didn't, for example, mention like servers like India, etc. We might be coming to that on the next one then.
Definitely.
I've seen that in my chat as well a lot, and definitely worth to talk about this. And I think. Yeah, just if you have anything we can talk about in the future, definitely reach out to us. And of course, our Discord server is always a good platform for it. And thank you so much for participating, I guess, in the chat as well. Hyping that up and supporting.
Thank you all. I'm gonna go into SoloQ now anyway, so I'm gonna be stomping.
Have fun.
I mean, yesterday was really good, so today, let's hope we can continue it.
All right. Hope to say bye-bye to the devs that are rewatching it right now too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'll speak to you guys later.
See you. Take care. Okay, bye.
Same. Yeah.
Bye-bye.